Hey traders, control the trade here, looking at GOGO, gadget, whatever. Let's just look at the chart here and see what we got. I'll try to keep the GOGO's references to a minimum, but we're definitely going to throw some in there, just saying. Alright, so one thing I want to look at here is the short float on GOGO. So what we can do is head on over to finviz.com and take a look at that. 39% short float, so 39% of the shares are being shorted. Okay, so we're going to go back to the chart here in Thinkorswim, and you can see that we went over the 20 period moving average, that blue line there, but we didn't close above it. So the most important number on this chart that we're going to talk about in this video is going to be 972, and you can see how many times we have been jumping above that number. We broke out from that number. You can see back here we did that, and then we came down to 972 a bunch of times, and now we're kind of starting to break out from it again. Now, I don't know how supportive that's going to continue to be, but again, the breakout area is right over here, and you can see $16 is another important number on the chart, but 972 on daily closes, weekly closes, that's the number we really want to take a look at and be aware of. So let's take a look at some of the moving averages here. You can see we're at the 20 period moving average here. You're going to have resistance up towards that 50 period moving average, and there's a good view you can see here also in Finviz. I want to go back really quick. You can see we've been making these, we're kind of in a downtrend right now, trying to break back out, and you can see the trend lines they've drawn, that blue line, and then up towards that purple line up to 18. But we've been making lower highs and kind of drifting downwards. And another reason for the bull case would be that we need some heavier volume. You can see the volume data we had here on this gap up, and it looks like this was a squeeze there. We need some more activity like that to really get a move up towards 16, 17, 18. Otherwise, we're just going to be kind of stuck in the mud here under the 50 period moving average. So back to the Thinkorswim chart now. We're looking at that. You can get a better view of the 50 period, how it's curling down, and that 16 is where you would really become head over heels. That's where you're going to get the breakout, and that's where you'd feel really good and probably use that money to vacation. So I wasn't sure. I was talking to this was a ticker that was posted by a Mungarian whose Twitter handle is named after the great Charlie Munger, who's 96 years old and still brilliant. So I wanted to take a look back just in case we're not looking at a day trade scenario here, we're looking at more of a long-term buy hold. So we're going to take a look at a weekly chart, and we'll also take a look at a monthly chart. So the weekly chart gives us a nice view here. You can see 972 is important way back there, and then we had the breakout right above 972, and we're making this pattern now, almost like this A leg up, and then you got the B leg down. So it's like an ABC pattern, like A, then B at 972. That's a crucial area. Now, what I would expect here is usually a C follow-through, a C-leg follow-through, which would break above the previous high of 1723. So let's see if that happens on a weekly basis. You have the 50 period moving average below, but there's just not a lot of, let's say, tape on this one. So let's look at the monthly chart too. You'll be able to see the same thing. It's kind of in a downtrend here. You can see with the monthly chart, it's more obvious how you can see it's been making highs, then breaking down, making lower highs, breaking down, lower highs, breaking down. So again, we're kind of at a crucial point here. If 972 does not hold, then you're going to challenge these moving averages down here, the 50 and the 20. Again, there's not a lot of time on this chart, so I don't put too much stock into that. Let's go back to the daily on a short term, the 10-minute chart, and look at that today. Today's April 5th. We made a high here of almost $11, and you can see that we're breaking down towards that 972 again. Oh my gosh, and look at that. Just noticed 971. I didn't even realize that when I had this chart up. I just started looking at this chart like an hour ago. We hit 971, so our support was 972, and it just goes to show again how important these numbers can be and how they're magnetic, and it gives me further confirmation that I've charted it, let's say, correctly, or at least the way that I like to chart, for a high probability support area. So now our zone is between the 972 and approximately 16. 16 is not as important as, say, the 972. Probably going to have to rechart this to kind of find some other numbers on shorter time frames. And of course, I'm going to keep an eye on 972. Make sure that we're always closing above that for the bull case. Below that, you're going to see lower prices, maybe down to the 200 period moving average. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and remember, don't let the trade control you.